Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would share with you a little hack that I use quite regularly when I'm making items like the one on the screen that's got 3 different colours in it, and I want to do it as quickly and efficiently as I possibly can. So what I'm just going to do is quickly resize this number 5. So I've just selected everything. I'm just going to drop that down so that it is about 8 centimetres ish across. Now what I'm going to do first of all is just select everything, go up to flip, and then I'm going to flip it horizontally. And the reason for that is because I always cut everything backwards. And the reason that I do that is because that gives me less cut marks on the front of the card once it's actually cut. And I'll show you what I mean when I cut this out. So I've got my 3 layers here. I want to go through to make it now and see how that comes out. So of course, because we've got 3 colours, we've got 3 separate mats. But I don't want to cut it on 3 separate mats. I want to do it on one mat and get it all done at the same time. Now, if I were to be using the app on my phone or on an iPad, I would be able to use SNAPMAT. What I'd be able to do is take a quick picture of my materials laid out on my cutting mat, ready to go in the machine, and then just move each item around so that it fits onto the corresponding colour that's already on the mat. But obviously I'm using desktop, so I can't do that. So what I do instead, let's go back to cancel, and we're going to just pull each piece of the number 5 apart. Now what I'm going to do is get 3 shapes on the screen. I'm going to get a little star, I'm going to get a heart, and I'm going to get a circle. And I'm just going to move that 5. Let's select all of those and just reduce them in size. They don't need to be very big at all. And I'm then going to put my number 5 back, and I'm going to put one of those shapes next to each one of those items. The next thing that I'm going to do is come up to Colour Sync here at the top of the Layers panel. And you can see now that it's giving me all of the colour numbers, and the 3 items here that are still in the grey are what I'm going to move to be with their corresponding colour. So that star is going to be pink, the heart is going to go down to the orange section, and then the circle is coming into the white. So now on the canvas you can see we've got the 5 and each one of the shapes with the corresponding number. Next, what I do is just select each one individually, go back to layers, and I just attach that. And the same again with that one, and the same again with that one. Now, if you can't remember which one is going to be which colour, it's a good idea to write down now which ones are corresponding to those colours. So let's do that. We're just going to quickly jot that down on a little bit of paper. You don't need to see me obviously do that, so I'm just doing it off camera. So I've got white, circle, orange, heart, and then pink is a star. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is select all by just clicking on the select all button at the top, and I'm going to change the colour of all of them to be orange. Now let's go through to make it, and you can see now I've got all 3 items on the screen in one go. So I'm going to move them over to different corners on the mat, and you can see now that I've got my heart here, which is going to be the actual orange one. The white one is the circle, and the pink one is the star. So let's head to the overhead camera and I'll set up the mat to correspond with this, and we can cut it out in one go. Alright then, here are the 3 colours that I'm going to use for this number 5 that I've got to cut out. So I've got some neon pink, some neon orange, and then I've got this white as well, which is a bit of an offcut that I've used on a previous project here. So what I'm going to do is now just refer to the list that I made when I put the shapes next to the numbers. So the white is the 0 or the circle, which is down at the bottom here in the bottom left hand corner, the same as on the screen. Then the orange one is the heart, so that's got to go up the top here, and then this pink is going up in the top right hand corner to correspond with the star there. Now I'm going to pop it upside down, as I said, and the reason that I do this is because it does give me a more superior cut to if I were going to just be doing it this way round. Because this is like a laminated card and the colour is only on one side, sometimes you do notice that it's got little fluffy bits with it, and I would prefer that to be on the side that's been stuck down rather than the side that's on show. And I will show you what I mean when this cut is completed, because you'll be able to see it pretty easily. So I'm just going to pop that down. I've just got a brayer that I'm just going to run across there. Now I'm also going to just reinforce the adhesion to this mat with some washi tape pieces, because this mat is quite old. I've used it a lot and it doesn't actually hold its stick that well anymore. So I'm just going to pop some washi tape pieces that I've used on another project just along each side, just to help really with it holding everything nicely onto the mat. And then I'm just going to give it another go over with my brayer. So that should be perfectly good now. There's a bit there that still feels like it might lift, so I'm just going to pop that on the bottom. So that is all done now. I'm going to pop that into the machine and I'm going to cut it out. When I come back, I'll show you exactly what I mean about the quality of the cut and how this has worked out well. So the cut's complete then, and I can see a couple of areas straight away that we've got little fluffy bits on, and that is something that I don't want to see when I'm looking at it from the other side. So I'm going to show you here. You might not be able to see it that clearly, but can you see those little bits there that are lifting up? There, and then you've got some bits around here. And then on this one, it does tend to be where the blade changes direction. So you do tend to get in the corners, like if you've got a tight corner like that. The same on the star, that's a really good example. It's really fluffy on there. But the rest of it, because it's been a constant draw of the blade around that cardstock, it's quite nice and smooth. When I take it off, you'll see that there's no fluff on the other side of that. So because this mat again is really quite old, I'm going to be able to just lift this up pretty easily. And then what we can do is just lift up that number 5 off there carefully, because we don't want to distort its swirl. But look how perfectly fresh and crisp that joint is there on that downward upstand. It looks brilliant. If I'd have cut it with the pink facing up, we would have had that fluffy area that is on here now on this, and that's not what we want at all. But anyway, as you can see, all my colours have cut absolutely brilliantly, and now I've just used one mat. I've saved all that time, and I can just get on with sticking it together and getting it sent out to my customer. If you found this video to be useful, I'd love to see you again for another. So don't forget to subscribe. Drop me any questions or comments that you have down below, and I will definitely try and come back to you if I can do. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a brilliant week. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you for another video soon. Bye!